Hello and welcome. This is just a quick video to demonstrate some of the new features of the new 2.0 Translink application from Handfield. The Translink is a device which will let you control your CBus network from your iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch. It also supports the iPhone 5 larger screen. The first thing that you need to do when you connect is to choose which Translink device. One of the features of the Translink is the ability to have multiple devices. So you could have one at your home, one at your office and one at your beach house, and you could connect to any of them from one device. You select the device by pressing the name, and a traffic light will tell you the current status of the connection from red, orange to green. There are a number of pages I've set up into this network just for this demonstration. You can move this way or this way by just flicking your finger across them. You can also press the Pages button and go to a particular page at any time. If you turn your iPad to the landscape direction, you then get the pages down the side and they stay there. One of the first new features of the 2.0 software is the ability to have scenes. You can now send off triggers for scenes, which is in this case these ones here. There is also the ability to look at the measurement application. So in this case here we have the electricity being used by the property, which is coming from a CBus measurement unit. At the moment it's 11 o'clock at night, so there's not much coming off the solar panels. You could also, in this case, from a temperature sensor, CBus temperature sensor, bring up some information on the measurement application about the temperature in a room. We now have native support for the fan controllers, so you can have off, medium, high, low, all to turn the fans on and off. We also have native support for the shutter controllers as well. Here's an example of a irrigation system, a tank which has got the current capacity of the tank, which is coming from a general input unit with a pressure sensor in the water, which is telling us how many litres are left in the tank. Here is a scene which you can press, which would actually update the tank level, or every minute the tank level is automatically updated onto the CBus network. There's a new display icon now so that you can display the status of a CBus group, but you can't change it. It's just for display only. In this case it's showing me that the tank is not full and it's also not empty. We also have the normal on-off switch before, but one of the new things is we have a whole lot of new icons. So we've got in this case one for mains water, a pump, some sprinklers, an icon for scenes, a tank, various ones for the measurement application. We've got some speakers, some scene lighting, fountain, and some locks. But I'll go into that in more detail in a minute. If we go back to settings, go to settings of this device, we can now go and add some more pages to the Translink on the iPad. It's completely configurable from the user. So in here is a list of all the group addresses that are available, which the person who has programmed the Translink has put into it. So in this case, say we wanted to set up something for the office, we would let's put a name in here. We'd put, in this case, the name of the group that we want to make. So let's say we're going to do one for the office. So we go down here to O for office. So you just drag it. So we want the office light here. There's another office light here. And have we got an office shutter? Yes, well, here we go. There's the office shutter. So if we put those three on there, we'll call it office. Now, we have a number of icons. These are the new icons that are available now. We have some light globes, chandelier, a fluorescent, compact fluorescent, a fluorescent tube, a garage door, a halogen downlight, some more downlights, a lamp, PowerPoint, some spotlights, a lamp, a blind, curtain, shutters, fan, some more lights for LEDs, for turning on and off your air conditioning, some zone control, gates, door locks, exhaust fans, fountains, turning your alarm maybe on and off, some locks, tank, some meters, some uplights, PIRs, pumps, scenes, smaller gates, on off, temperature, some speakers, sprinklers, mains water, solar panel, and of course if you wanted to you can always have one that's blank. So in this case the office has some halogen downlights, so we'll put some of those in. Now the shutter, the office has a shutter on the outside, so we'll go to the shutter. Now you go over here and we press, well, we want this one to use the blind or shutter control. The office light, we want to have a slider for dimming, and the other office light, we maybe say we want to switch. These are the new gadget types that we have: the switch, the slider, pulse, which is like a sending an on and then an off, shutter, fan control, value, which is just displaying the value of the group address, a trigger, which is for sending scenes, a yes, no, one, or a no, yes, one, which is for displaying the status of groups. So we've now edited that particular group. If we wanted to, we can move it in different order, and then done. We go back. It will now connect. Because we've added some new group addresses, it needs to go and get the status of those group addresses on the network. The traffic light shows you the status of the network, so it's going from red now to orange, and then it will go to green. Once it goes to green, we can then press the done button, which is up here. And if we go to the new office one, we now have the office light one, which is just an on-off, so we can turn it on or off. We now have a dimmer for a light. We can also change the rate, so we might say we want it to dim at 8 seconds, so we can say go to 50% and it'll now do it over 8 seconds. So you do have the ability, if you want to change the rate at which it will go to that dimming level. And now we have one of the new features, the native support for the shutters. So we can open, stop or close the shutters. And that's using one of the Clipsal CBus shutter controllers. If we say we wanted to go in and use one of the new touch devices, we can go in widgets, we could go in and say, well, just find the garage door, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so we could do open the garage door, put that one up here, garage door lock, put that one underneath, change the icon for the garage door lock to a lock, change the other one to a garage door. Now this one is going to be one that's called Pulse, and this one will be one that's called Switch. So in this case, if we want to open the garage door, we'll press that button, but we can also lock the garage door as well. So we call it garage door. Oop, stuff that up. Garage door. So we go back again. It's now loading the status for those two new group addresses for the garage door. Again, the traffic lights come up indicating the status. And once they goes green, we can then press done. And now we have one for the garage door. So we can lock the garage door, or we can press the touch button, and that will just open the garage door, and that will send onto the CBus network an on and then an off, just like the bell press does within the CBus settings. Now, of course, all this is the same on the iPhone. So the iPhone has a similar, if I close this one down, on the iPhone we have a similar setup. So you can scroll between the pages. You can also press the pages at the bottom, top to go to a particular page. And you can also scroll up and down. So in this case, we've got the rumpus lights, a shutter controller, the volume and the temperature. Now note that this is different than what was in the iPad, because every device can have its own setting. So the stuff you use on your phone, you could have a different set than you do on your iPad. But of course, if we wanted to, we can still have some the same. So if we go through to the garage door, it's the same. We can have the garage door, or we can go back, say, to the irrigation. Similar type of thing. Now, normally when you connect to the program, it connects back to where you last were. So if you were already in the house using a particular page, that will be the page that it will remember and bring you back to. So you can go the rumpus, the lounge, irrigation. Here we have an all-off scene, the property power. So that's some of the new features of the new Translink 2.0 firmware.